it would be a terrible time if we didn't have Bitcoin, I think. And it's crazy to see the statistics that we've already blown up more in terms of losses, financial losses now than in 2008. And yet we're still kind of kicking the can down the road because the Fed is sort of injecting liquidity. But it feels like we're in a holding pattern, right? Something is going to break. It's probably going to be, some sort of a credit issue, and then a downward spiral into the launch of the real big QE, right? I mean, some people are predicting 10 plus trillion, and that's technically good for Bitcoin, but overall it just means the system continues to break down, right?
Yeah, I think people, listen, guys, it's impossible to analyze on a day-by-day basis because they're not giving you all the information. You have to generalize it. Let's look at history. Bear Stearns happened, I think, 6 months before Lehman. Mm-hmm. And so we're living through a slow death. These things weren't bang, bang. There were 6 months of time, 180 days, where people were like, oh, thank God we got out of that one. And then the anchor dropped on top of their head. And so I think you need to proceed with caution and along the narrative that this is the Fed's fault. And for the first time, the Fed entirely mismanaged interest rates in such a dramatic way. At least recently, this is a phenomenon in that sense. And so the reason I explicitly restate that is because the Fed has to hide how they're fixing it. If the Fed were public about absorbing this into the monetary supply and covering all losses, then the market would panic and things would go haywire. So they're trying to hide it. That's why they're treating assets at par. That's why they're socializing losses at JP Morgan Chase. Is they're hiding inflation and they're hiding the recovery in private institutions and in loosely defined terms that nobody generally understands. And so the reason that you're seeing them ease the market into, who needs 2% inflation anyway? Why 2%? That sounds random. Why not 20? Bigger numbers are better, right? They're going to start to try and normalize that stuff because they're covering their tracks. And so by the time it's all known, it'll be too late because it's been hidden in plain sight for so long. So you're starting to see gold has never made moves like this since I've been alive, and you're really starting to see it. So anyway, that's my take, is it's the Fed who's really at fault. It's not like a Wall Street bank missized the counterparty risk of mortgages. Central banks drove record deposits into commercial banks. Commercial banks were driven to put those into long duration instruments. And then the Fed raised rates faster than they've ever had, and they ran these things insolvent, and they crushed the balance sheets of everybody, and they got to cover it, and so that's it. That's it. And so, yeah, you're not going to get your answers if you're looking for them. You got to have some conviction and protect yourself.
Yeah, and JP Morgan didn't bail out First Republic. We all did. We all always bail out. I love that quote from Jared at MicroStrategy. Shout out. All right. Well, just to wrap things up, anything you want people to know, we're here at the Bitcoin and Lightning for Corporations. A lot of moves happening, even though it is a bear market. A lot of people are focusing in, building, and there is going to be a crack up boom at some point. So I hope everybody's, ready for it. What do you want people to know?
Oh, man. I want people to know Bitcoin is public utility. It's digital public infrastructure. Nobody owns it. Everybody has access to it. It's a very powerful idea. It's infrastructure for money, like the internet is infrastructure for information. And I think I just wish a lot of love, honestly, right now is what I think the world needs. We're all human beings. And despite everyone's mistakes and misfortunes and arguments and disputes, we're all going to die. And so I think we all need to take a deep breath, stay calm, use the fact that we build tools and we innovate and rely on technological advancements to get us through what's becoming a really difficult time. And so my thoughts go out to everybody. I think it's only going to get worse. And I just hope everyone finds ways to navigate that. And I spend my time trying to be helpful towards that.